Do you mind the camera at all?
No.
No.
Okay. Ready?
No.
It's in the Dropbox right here.
No.
You want to put it there?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
We got started with it.
Okay, cool.
Good.
First off is the counter-advocacy. Michael and I embrace the narrative of the yellow body as a counter-methodology to expose the myth of the mono-minority through a process of conscientization against the anti-black and counter-methodology is a better way to liberate oppressed groups. First, they are wrong racism and move beyond society and biological roots now rooted within differential racism. Neo-racism target against immigrants. Challenging racism is critical to spur more effective movements against the Ballard 2005 language, expressing new lasting articulation, social practice, collective representation, having to daylight Japanese developing the function of immigration and substitute for racism provides us with the first look at immigration and suffer discrimination, xenophobia, violence, racial stereotyping explained, and such a role social signify replace the biological one is racism whose dominancy not biological heredity but a cultural difference in racism when it prostitutes the superiority of certain groups that differential racism. Now this has manifested itself in the myth of the model minority. The myth portraying Asian Americans solely as hardworking other a methodology focused on Asian body and exposing the myth is critical. There are three impacts. One, the oppression of Asian Americans continue. Two, the Asian body is used to justify the oppression of other minorities. Three, resentment and tension are created between minority groups. Chang in 93, Asian Americans portray hardworking, intelligent, and successful belief in the model minority justifying northern unique discrimination faced by Asian Americans. You find the Asian mind portraying yourself the hardship begun as a model of self-respect has become unquestioned subject by social reality. However, gives the label for tool oppression and works of harm. Denying the existence of present-day discrimination against the Asian American legitimate oppression of Asian minority folk and posting outside the Asian community of the myth and audience is the unsympathetic the problem of the Asian American existing as part. Resentment Professor Yamada tells about the reaction of her literature class. Outspoken Asian American religion writers. One student blurted out that she was offended by his militant tone. Other writings had been more militant. They said they were not offended by the Black American, Chicano, Native American writing. They understood and expressed anger expressed by the Black and Chicano. The emphasis was in the Native American. Asian Americans, it made me angry because I didn't even know that Asian Americans felt oppressed. The model minority renders the oppression of Asian Americans invisible to the outside without social services. Thinking Asian Americans had succeeded. Official the man founding social service program calls their mission that exclude Asian American students from opportunity program. The income disparity for Asian American groups are glaring. The Asian American families are working hard, working for hard, waste disparity go to one geographic location is considered the methods work to do hard by hurting other racial minorities when other blamed by successful Asian, African American, Latinos, and poor whites are to look at those Asian animals coming into this country. The blame is justified by mere secret proven by Asian Americans. We are competitive with the oppression of other racial minorities. Displaying creates resentment against the Asian American among African American, Latinos, and poor white. The bottom minority. She had the convenient escape of Korean American Los Angeles discovered in the 1992 when rights Korean Americans now view themselves as a human shield between the white majority and the anger of the black majority minority. The bottom minority was established a racial hierarchy which derives the oppression of Asian Americans. Now our performance on conscientization process to name our understand forces of oppression and result of real world change. Understand to that same conscientization being able to name the word meaningful education, recognizing understand the impact of the forces of oppression have on lives of process. Also constant clarification what remains hidden within the world and provokes recognition. The world dynamically in the making such recognition. People work against oppression, beginning their efforts to transform the world and name the world. Important to actively change it. Now this reason perpetuates itself in the myth of the minority and by the process where the right push to the success of a certain Asian this strategically in order to police Southeast Asian immigrants as Tupac in 2002. The model minorities position the political concern and attention of Asian American because darling of the right. The Asian American steps from strong family concern between the African Americans explained by their own values. High school Southeast Asian because of the United States just as tension border. If you forget Asian American vindicated that Asian American treaty living proof of the power of the free market absent of racial discrimination. Closer look another picture to play that was a refugee camp where the lowest who has 40% of Asian Americans get lost in averaging in the Southeast Asian were affiliated war kind of persecution only a few reasons they have that scheme effect. The ones in the United States power to bring some Southeast Asian much higher than even a non-model minority. Now the impact is collateral damage or failure to expose the reason against Southeast Asian makes it invisible to society pressure. Perpetuates the sovereignty in 2000. Perhaps more than any other racial group of Southeast Asian definition set by immigration cultural power for Southeast Asian welfare state where structure for slum their dwelling embodying the liberal and less defensive menace to society. The contradiction viewed as mere aberration writing or cast exception to refugee slave resettlement these years so all the homologous black cultural poverty Southeast Asian poverty can go to the collateral damage and the full scale war against black urban poor Southeast Asian refugees and call it unintended target. Now, debate today is marked by a structural conflict, a question of structural dichotomy between black and white. It dominates discourse, forcing people to rethink their relationship to the race and privilege. This binary is a productive one, but a massive structural silence on these other identity that undermines this emancipatory goals. Outcome in 2003 dominates the racial politics, inhibited understanding of how race operates via the Latino and Asian American groups are often on the country benefit from the imperialist, the most having native victim of native argument, African limiting the rights of immigrants and personally foreign. No matter how generation have lived their discourse of social justice has been dominated by the black paradigm. fire stated that people struggle to black on the white supremacy, which has to system where racial discrimination operates exclusively through anti-black racism, the black-white paradigm, and to all other collateral damage. Latino Asian Americans have argued that the black-white paradigm is not adequate racial reality. The United States the black-white paradigm has been many delusions affecting Asian American Latinos are often treated as near black or near white, but not adequate to understand the ideological representation of political treatment and now theorizing of black-white paradigm is already disadvantaged for all people. Now, this silence smooths over different forms of race and either discards them as irrelevant or integrates them within the logic of anti-black that the Asians are whitening or assimilating to whiteness rather than facing distinct problems to recreate the unquotable universalism of whiteness and mask alleviating certain racial harms impossible. Alcohol in 2003. When classified nowhere, Latinos were already denied when they were classified into now. They cannot be repealed. Unified theory of race had a bunch of white Africans and all of the rights to avoid reproductive change when we were allowed to come prostitute worldwide. Native people were represented and thus had to require the paradigm of anti-black racism intertwined with slavery does not help illuminate the experience of other non-white groups where ideological reliance on the charts of evil being despairing people and other projections out of regard to African American. The black white paradigm is standing on account of the diverse racial relation and use weekend. The general theory of racism which attempt to inclusive have an effect on ability to solution the common cause against the oppression and coalition of coalition have been denied. The category being politics group time have some group by scapegoating the black white paradigm recently capable of theoretical politically demand racial among the community of color, which is not all about white people. We must accept our ritual shame as to blame versus explanation, which will primary issue to blame the zero. The community of color, racial groups like Latinos, Asian American, Native Americans are ignored and altogether now. The silent press breach the domination of black white binary allows conservative focus to divide and conquer the model minority, miss the tale of the high-performing Asian American, a possible paradigm example of a limited identity redeployed as a weapon. Prashad and O2 if African Americans did not receive a repetition of injustice history, Africans was used to further display the conservative producing discord of the defect of racism that believed in state inequality, tried to make racism social economic relation was the line of sight for action rather than racism would have to report social dysfunction. If affirmative action came under the neoconservative, they drew up on the racism as a beautiful arsenal. The Asian American provides a single useful way to attack the problem. Equitable breaks down in terms of over-representation. These minority social entities over-represented profession that would face quota Asian Americans in this instance used as a weapon against the distribution of fresh food to offer every Asian American more Pacific Valley. He believes that an African American problem that created by the small parent family and the weaker larger social group there are inactive tropes of the model minority only Asian American but particularly team black and Latinos. You can mark the card of the next half is the African Michael and I demand that the United States federal government should secure 2 million bounty and continue all overt and covert operations to capture, detain, or kill Assata Shakur, aka John Chinard. This demand is to make Assata a martyr because we realize that the demand for freedom can never be fully satisfied. This is a better way to use Assata needlessly to tear down the pillars of oppression. Now, the story of the season of living martyrs fuel new activists and coordinated in 2009. The nation state question of reunification, identify, defeat, remember the retelling accounts of the service people, how to transform these individuals to martyrs, the martyrs, prism and martyrs, the heroes, the emphasize self-sacrifice for the good people, connected theory, struggle over who have been to struggle at the recollection, remind people of other children, faced with racial natural oppression, see the fight or negotiate, collective memory, black active measure themselves against the heroes of the circular stories of the mythology martyrs and the representative oppression and circulation of political martyrs, new activists and creatures, contemporary role models, go on to case. We need to infiltrate the state and institutions. Williams and Sandy is erroneous to think that one can isolate oneself from the political system that extra over the environment which he recites regularly that to reject the opportunity towards the management from organs of power structure. Milton had acquainted with the masses of the pressure we can obtain valuable no extra tax planning analysis, sufficient application medical analysis, and imperative that people organs of establishment. You can go back to that card. I'll finish it now. The argument is that Asian Counteradvocacy do not assist black media. The black citizens they're lazy for the chain of reason called on the process of state election down to the arrogance of the men ability which historical announcement forms to prove in order to combat the colorblind state policy device instrument close within itself and put offer account offer privilege to go like current arguments. New markets and arguments.
Thank you. Alright, so is your argument on the counterplan that we should allow Assata to die?
No, we should make her a martyr.
Right. So for her to be a martyr, she has to be dead, correct?
Yes.
What is the bright line for death?
I don't know.
Are you talking about physical death?
Michael?
Yes, this is physical death. Martyrdom has to do with physical death.
Alright, so if Assata is not dead, why would the counterplan solve the counterplan fiated?
Did you just say if Assata is not dead?
We're saying like
that
she's not actually
like keep her on the bounty so that she is killed. Make her a martyr.
Okay, so she's like this bounty is still on her now.
Yes.
If she's not dead now, why would the counterplan do anything? If she's like still doing fine in Cuba because no one has been able to get her yet, why would the counterplan do anything?
No, this is the reason why we keep the bounty on.
Okay, what
is a method to make her die?
What does it mean to infiltrate the state and the institutions?
We say that it's erroneous to say that we should isolate ourselves from the institutions. We should try infiltrating, learn the man's institutions, infiltrate the organs of power.
So why would you demand the state do something if you want to actually...
We would say that that is a good form of infiltration. We would say that playing the white schemes is how we learn the tactics of the oppressor, we infiltrate that and break it down. The Williams evidence is very specific that it's a grave area for militant and just mind used to isolate themselves
So
from
we need
these
to understand the
institutions.
oppressor to break down the oppressor?
Yes, we would say that's part of the argument. The Williams evidence says that we have to be first acquainted with the message of the oppressor so we can obtain these valuable know-hows and effective struggles, tactics, and plans to infiltrate the government.
Okay, so your court evidence on the counterplan, the only activists that were martyred that you isolated were Martin Luther King and Malcolm X?
No, there's many martyrs that we can expand on in this Wednesday. Michael, you want to list some?
Okay, I got you. So the reason why the entire Haitian Revolution that your Williams cards talk about, the reason why that's
What Wilson cards talked about that?
This is the wrong, bro. We didn't read those cards.
You read Wilderson in the 1AC.
But he
Yeah, but
wasn't
what?
talking about Haitian.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the Haitian Revolution, the reason that started was because Francois Massanda, he was a maroon. Which
Okay, but that evidence is not talking about the Haitian Revolution.
Okay, you just said give
Yeah,
you examples of martyrs,
examples of
so I'm
martyrs.
giving you examples of martyrs. Francois Massanda escaped slavery from
Okay.
Haiti in 1970.
So when we're in the concept, did it say that they have to be a martyr for them
We say-
to have an
Like-
effect?
Wait, what's the status of the counterplan, too?
The conditional.
So where does that evidence actually?
However, this is
Thank you.
contextually conditional
Cool.
because our advocacy will still say the same nothing,
Okay.
and the 1MC
Thank
is
you.
contradictory.
I understand. I want to know where in the card does it actually talk about why she has to be a martyr, and that is the only way for it to have these same effects.
We would say that being a martyr is better than not being a martyr.
It is like, why would it be better? Like where did
Because being
so
a martyr
are you saying that
more
Corrigan's
symbolic
argument
justice.
that we should kill all black activists so they can
No,
be
that's not
a
the
martyr?
argument. We should make Assata Shakur specifically a martyr because she has already stolen away her body.
So okay, all right.
I'm about to flash.
Yeah, come here, listen.
No, I have a flash first.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
This is where I got my coffee.
So you film stuff.
Hearing houses. Boy. Trying to be less better impression.
So you only had 60 days. Five. Okay.
Huh? Yeah, it's saved under what up clues. And the order is case, counterplan, and then
Which counter-advocacy is first?
Okay, wait. It's the. Okay, there we go. It's case, the martyr counterplan, and then the other counter-advocacy.
Alright, cool. Okay, I need
Oh, I'm sorry.
it. Alright, when are we ready, dude?
I'm sorry. What did you say before? It's the counterplan or the K?
It's case, martyr counterplan, and then the last one. Ready? Extended the hardened evidence we must use objectivity as ways to break away from the hegemon discourse that have stolen the body away from individuals debaters. Specifically, we are saying that we need to be futures to the debate community because that allows for us to break down hegemon discourse that stolen the bodies away from practicability. Here's the kicker: we're probably able to solve the myth of modern minority through using objectivity used to be a future to the modern minority. That probably means the case already solved 100% of the case. More of the case already is unresolved because we already said that we recognize Assata as being a martyr. She does not have to be biologically part of being a martyr in the first place. That probably means that which is being this up anti-black is saying the world value should vote bad speech act that performs the breaks on anti-black. Now we are the only ones who beat the world battle. There are a few that benefits the world battle. Subpoint 8 specifically allows for us to be futures inside of the debate community. The rest and harm evidence specifically says we need to be as a way that we can break away from hegemon discourse when people read things like framework subpoint B specifically is that it gives us a tool to actually go inside of the real world and actually interact and create real world change in the first place. Probably means that will solve the critique and the criticism go to the counterplan. First off, conditionality, make conditionality is a voter issue. Now, it's not a voter issue for things like fairness education, rather it's a voter issue because it reflects the same slave-master relationship. Think about it, slave masters had slaves conditional. They had them conditionally. They have 5 slaves, they can sell 3 slaves, only have 2 in the first. Why is that? It only reflects slave-master relationship. They only had slaves specifically because they were strategic and running the arguments conditional were strategic in the first place. Why is that? That's the reason why you should reject conditionality as an overall morality. We're going to say permutation both. We are already making it impossible to man on the stage just because we did not specifically say we're going to make it impossible to man on the stage. Does not mean that we're not going to do it in the first place. And even in the counterplans solving means that the case already solved specifically, we are saying that making it impossible to man on yourself is better than making it impossible to man on the stage, because when you make it impossible to man on the stage, that means you come complicitly say that. That means that you see what you can ask and what you can actually do to make real work change in the first place. More of this, we should make her a martyr. We say now unique. She's already a martyr at the point where she is already socially dead. I mean, she does not have to be biologically dead to be actually a martyr in the first place. We were saying that she needs to be alive so that she can continue to train activists like my partner and I. The only reason that we were able to win arguments like this, the only reason we are able to come inside of the debate and break down things like anti-blackness is because Assata was alive. She needs to continue to be alive so that she can continue to write narratives and continue to write to people like my partner and I, so that we can understand that we need to break against the structures of the government. That was right the evidence. But Satan talks about how now that Assata is slave, inside of Cuba, she can literally write narrative, she can literally write literature to students so that they can learn how to break down the pillars of oppression. The counterplan is not solved because it is used for the TV as a mechanism to break down hegemonic discourses, which our authors specifically highlight is the only way to create modes of resistance. The counterplan is not mutually exclusive with the 1AC permutation rule. Asian consciousness. The 1AC ignores the fact that Asians are not just the minor minorities inside of the world, they are also the minor minorities inside of the debate. People don't expect for someone like me to be inside of an hour. People don't expect for someone like me to have 2 bids. How many bids do they have now? How many bids do we have? Just calculate that and think about that for a second. So what will voting negative really do? If they want to stop the myth of minor minority, that probably means that you should vote affirmative. If think about it, if you can vote for you, probably can't, and we can be 7-0 at the Blake tournament, that will literally break down the type of minority in the first place. That if you can pick up us over them, that will literally show the world that we should not, that the minor minority does not exist right now. Because okay, think about this. So they're trying to break down the myth of the minor minority. People in debate expect for you to be better than me. If Kevin Hirn votes for 2 Asians, that is only propping up the myth of the minor minority. Basically, they are dancing for the slave master. If they're saying that white people label them as better than other minorities, what would them getting another ballot over a minority really entail inside of the debate community? We just need to think about these things for a minute. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, sorry. My academic sex up. Okay, what up, close. Permutation due to AF and link turned to anti-racism, anti-blackness, anti-racism is a foreground for white supremacy. The person is all evidence is most contextual. All author identifies himself as Asian American. The AF as well as the all is a the AF is a prerequisite moral. Over that probably means that that's the reason why the permutation failed works in Milwaukee 2012. They see the focus on the black binary, first racial binary, and marginalized perspective. Not black people. I do not think racism defined in terms of black and white. I don't think white supremacy is simply radical hierarchy where white side first and black people at the bottom. It's not racist to them. White side anti-blackness racism is a white supremacy racial US is already in shade first and different groups. The ability effects of difference to the world of first and what we have some we also have binary, which white people do not exist. The same dynamics, broad dynamics, but over permutation due the plan due to alternative anti-black racism is prior to their impacts. The first thing, there is no black white binary, but the way of institutionalized anti-black is the first thing. This is why Obama can still support the white supremacy, although he identifies himself as black only. He competes with the destruction of white civil society was simply saw this section. 2010, the academic black white binary doesn't first in the fiction copy develop range political and sexual proposals and addressing the call for dislikes by white binary rights to be recognized to support institutionalized in any case. They more about the face of the anti-black and suppressing implications of the new paradigm for racial theory and unfeasible because it's not perhaps an ideal to coherent justification to analyze our racism, the first key is the implementation of new paradigm for racism because it does not have something to do in the more coherent ethical justification essentially conscious racism first where we have the church white black we also have we consider care race all that we need more adequate model analysis to realize about this analysis extra to drive for them realize the person's absorb consider unconscious anti-black or break the global white supremacy and starting points are not mutual anti-black and first section to the benefits of also have some relatively finance some minorities lessons of Los Angeles are introduced to the starting point of black public exceptions of race and first we consider remain also interested in foreign ethical relationship with tribal civilization also have and no link blacks and Asians are remain politically equivalent when it comes to constituting them both as black bodies. They are both ontologically black stages to understand. Both the racism for black worker remain are politically equivalent. The first they reduce stereotypes disconnect from rich hierarchy USA grows to be rich because they large economic power faces the poor working class not enough less represented the relative in power by the right vis-a-vis Asian comparison political term and permutation to both we are inclusive to their policies. We are all responsible for our complicity in this racial hierarchy. Permutation to affirmative starting points are now our blood. We must find a relationship between Asian bodies and black bodies to find interracial love born by the reunification of black races and sexual intended around the multiracial the inspiration is the relationship between black and Asian political otherwise we not find interracial love one and negative reparations first we are not coalition body with the Georgia for person other life for the from black bodies so total talking material force working that same structure of assimilation of present inspiration political removes the black race also emotionally in black affection marked affection. This is a term of defense to all of their offense. Moreover, any offense that they can get about white anti-blackness is bad for them. It uniquely was inevitable in the process rooted in institutionalized anti-blackness. Their underlying premise of class conflict and martial racialized economy of anti-blackness takes so I've seen the black people really have to tell birth violence inevitable always the major process and we not know first and you are not much for it because there's something in your root causes of such tradition continue to connect the place all solitary effective rating of the differences between those who now be right which causes other places in different area counties on the teams of the Korean black and black interaction between those who wish to be such a market and their own owner. First argument that makes specifics about the myth of minority, they were just answer what if the myth of minority is true, why are you believing in things like myth? We should say we need to be using CP as future CP as ways to break rate from these myths in the first season. Moreover, voting for UPrep BK in the 7th round of the Blake tournament to make them 7-0 above the Asian minorities will literally collapse the Asian minorities. The problem means that I have other clauses specifically they say they cause 3 impacts. They say that when we smooth over that cause for Asian depression 2 we hit in the next we said that will inevitably happen at the point of which you are now white society will inevitably try to smooth over your oppression, which means that it's more than that we collapse society in the first place means that even if we lose the starting point debate, we are going to win the fact that since we collapse a society that will not allow for you to be oppressed because if no one's alive, no one can be oppressed. They specifically say that the impact is collateral damage specifically because it allows for more invisibility for your oppression. We just answer above. Now they say all court evidence is not applied to us. We do not classify you. We do not classify blackness as being African American. Whether we say blackness is a position or oppression, I can give you an instance of when white people became black during the Holocaust, when Jewish people tried to frame Jewish people, when German people tried to frame Jewish people as not being a good enough white, they therefore made them black, which probably means that being black is not constitutional as being African American. The fact that you think that probably is problematic in the first place. Well, they say that allows for other races to be excluded. This is not a problem at the point in which we are framing black people as being those that face the impacts of whiteness. At the point in which you are conceding that the role of the body is to performatively break down anti-blackness, conscientization is essentially what the 1AC is because they say it's a process of making people aware of how the world is so messed up. Newsflash, that's just an FYI. I've already been doing that for 17 years. I noticed that when I watched TV and I saw that Trayvon Martin was shot for having Skittles and tea in his hand. I noticed that in 2011 when I saw the state of Georgia justify killing Trey Davis. I knew that when I was in AP history and I learned the Dred Scott case about how Chief Justice Taney told African American that they will never be a part of what it means to be civilized inside of America. It means the only ethical thing that we can do to stop these forms of oppression, like they are the ones that are causing tensions between minorities. At the point in which you want to pick up a 7th round ballot at Blake against another minority, you are literally making yourself a minority. They are the poster children of what they perceive.
Alright, first conditionality. Is strategy inherently a bad thing?
We feel like the strategic use of conditionality.
Strategic use of conditionality. So, what's all these permutations on the counter-advocacy?
Well, the good thing is they don't make it conditional because it advocates.
No, I'm questioning. Was that not conditional? Was that not strategic?
No. I feel like it was we use it as a survival method. Our argument is that
to fight against anti-blackness,
instead of minorities,
people should not use strategy to fight anti-blackness.
We're saying that we shouldn't use competing methods. Rather, we should use all
competing
forms
method.
of right. Our argument is that we should
debate about
okay. Don't cuss at me first, and then what was the question?
What is the debate about if it's not about competing methods?
Well, traditional debates may be about competing methods, but our argument is that when we're trying to create modes of resistance against whiteness, if you're saying that minorities should not fight upon each other, we're saying we agree with that, then we should not be fighting.
Wait, so we should just come into this round and run framework, say that you guys should not.
I never said that you have to.
Then how do we?
Because we said that you could have created another mode. For example, our mode of resistance is fugitivity, right?
Okay, and our mode is conscientization. So
no.
How do we resolve this?
But okay, you said that conscientization is a process of recognizing that the world is messed up and then like creating ways to change.
They'll be in the block. Now, the question, the model minority. So
not in cross-eyes.
Since we are model minorities, why is losing the answer? Like, what does that resolve?
Okay. You said this is how people oppress other races. They say, look at the Asians; they are succeeding.
Oversimplification.
Okay.
Why is losing
what we are saying
answer?
is that if when people hear about this round, they're going to say, "Oh, look at the Asians who are the model minorities picking up over UPrep DK, which are the dirty minorities."
So then we look at the Asians who don't matter. They lose. People don't listen to them anymore. Why is that a better option?
Why is that
a better option?
Bro, you said that. White people look at Asians and they say, look at the Asians succeeding while the black teams are.
So Asians can never be successful.
We never said that, but if you really want to break down the myth of the modern minority,
no, but Asians can. That seems like the thesis.
Wait. But you just said that the world would never expect you to be successful, which means that after this round you'll still be successful, not only personally but to the world.
My question is a yes or no answer. Can Asians be successful?
Asians can be successful, but if you want to break down the myth of the modern minority inside of this specific,
all right,
we're saying we have an opportunity.
Your first card you read on the counter-advocacy, you say that permutation due bad anti-black is the fulcrum. Nakawa, Who is this person?
He is a political activist community organization.
Okay. Let's talk about the anti-blackness. Why does anti-blackness exist right now?
Anti-blackness existed because we would argue that when the Middle Passage first happened, like African Americans stepped on the ship as
Why is it
African,
happening now?
And then they
Why is it
came off
happening
as
in
being
2013?
Black. So then that blackness like spread, and then therefore all those who
Why is it
were not
continuing in
considered themselves as
2013?
white, probably because society exists. We're saying that
Society
society is literally founded upon
Like, how does white
oppression.
supremacy justify anti-blackness in current civil society?
How does white supremacy justify anti-blackness? At the point in which you think that you're white and you're superior to others, that justifies you being anti to the black dark other. Like you just answered your own question within the question. Can we get water real quickly?
Yeah.
I'm good.
15 seconds used.
Taking a second, Brad.
Okay, 2
Probably
seconds.
not.
Last 15. We have 7.
Alright.
I go for Ravon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even look at it. Honestly, y'all two are not going to be on that panel, and then I'm going to be on that panel, and it's going to be over there. Oh my god. I'm going to be so misplaced. Or do you pretend to be you so that I can be on that panel? I'm Jason. Here's my sweater. I need glasses. Yeah, I experienced the most aggressively privileged speech in a round that I judged earlier today.
I thought I did.
Making like our race narratives, like anti-race rage, and they went for the like by the like interest and purpose type arguments. Yeah. And the two number was just like random everyone in the data is like privileged, and everyone like they were back like doing charity.
Sorry, I only have
example of charity.
Like,
Like,
two hands.
Y'all can have, yeah.
fucking like flying.
That's like you just sacrifice your own
Not on the point game. Did you go back? Yes.
Martyr flow. Case, the very top of the counteradvocacy. Alright, anyone not ready?
Yeah,
One
me.
second.
You gotta pull it up.
Counterplan case, top of counteradvocacy.
Wait, what is it called? Oh, 20 debate. Okay, cool.
Alright. Okay. You good?
Case.
No, martyr
Martyrdom
case.
case. Counteradvocacy.
Counteradvocacy. Yeah.
Okay, I'm all good.
Okay, ready? Okay.
You have misunderstood the martyr argument coming out of debate. The YG takes a position that Assata is already, except that is not true. The Assata is alive right now and in Cuba, and there's a bounty on Assata. They have strategically out of their YG one of the tests that they used to read that says that we should rescind the bounty. They, when the YG cross-contamination, I specifically asked for so Assata being dead, a good thing. They said that we should not kill Assata within the status quo. They try to argue that she is already dead, except the argument right now is that she is alive, and the better way to do this is actually to make her dead, because according to evidence says that the only way to make movements effective is to have martyrism within the playing a better methodology or a better whatever they call it, a mode of resistance to try and do this. Yes, this debate is about competing methods or competing mode of resistance. Those two are pretty much the exact same thing, which is the reason why this is a performance challenge to the way that the YC to paint the Assata scenario right now. The YC specifically says that Assata is someone who has been cheating people. Assata has stolen herself away from society. Yes, we agree that Assata is stolen away from society, but that's not a reason that we should let her back within society. We should not have discussed Palestine within the United States. We should let her die, and that's
has to become a symbol because according to evidence that when martyrdom happens, that becomes a symbol for a counter-revolution. We have the entire boatload of history to support this argument. Assata was a Maroon, which means escaped slave hiding in the early 700s. He led a rebellion but then died, which set the groundwork for the Haiti Revolution. There are 2 more examples of when burned slaves from Haiti escaped. Doodly Bunkman escaped from Haiti, which was caught and burned at the stake, which incited the movement for trying to burn them down. His burning of the stake is what motivated other people to actually burn down the sugar plantations in Haiti. Dera de Toussaint was seized and jailed by Napoleon. Similarly to Assata, similar to how Assata has a bounty right now. Napoleon originally had a bounty on Toussaint will overturn it, except he says that we should take off the bounty. We'll bring you back into France, and he trusted them. The mistake was trusting him instead of becoming it. And then what happened after that was that he became a martyr because Napoleon actually ended up killing him, which incited the groundwork for the revolution in Haiti. Martin Luther King Jr. shot by some other dude in history was also another martyr for the black movement. Martin Luther that just incited the further civil rights movements, which caused people to do it. Even this Assata Shakur revolutionized the hip hop industry only after he was dead. His mother took his lyric to give it a different impression. That actually bridged the east-west gap between hip hop, which actually made hip hop a revolution and even a tool within debate used within current days to have most resistance. They say it's good when they say we're conditional and that's a voting issue. We are not, even if we're conditional, we are not a contradiction and the type of conditionality that you assume because the conditionality they assume is a performing contradiction, trying to use different ways to try to support most anti-violence. And we agree that this debate about whoever should best liberate the press group is good, which is why we are taking up 2 performance challenges to YNC that jive with each other. We have decided to use our social location. We have also decided to question the YNC's framing of trying to return Assata's body within the status quo, which is the reason why we are not racist and not using the logic of the slave master. He cannot articulate a reason why these two positions in particular race. The reason why now he says permutation. Well, the big question for the permutation is what will debate look like if the affirmative gets a permutation when they don't have a traditional moral plan tag. So this is by competing modes of resistance. That means that they do not get a permutation because this counter-advocacy is a performance challenge to their mode of resistance, or else it makes debates literally impossible when the negative cannot engage in them. They reverse to game me going back to framework, which everyone in this community does not want anymore, which is the reason why giving them the permutation is a way for race to continue because then teams have no option other than for framework. They're essentially saying that you should give us the ballot because we're black. This is what this argument boils down to, especially at the top of the counter-advocacy, which we'll go on to later. And also the second argument for the permutation is that the links are all this as the permutation. We have multiple links coming out of the YNC. The YNC to the quote that our economic aim is to return to Assata's body, return to the body of the slave. You're saying that we need to return Assata's body is assuming that someone has Assata's body in the status quo. Yes, they try to get after this across the nation, except you have to hold them to what the speech said, was that we need to return Assata's body. Returning Assata's body means that she is in possession. We argue that right now. They think that the United States federal government has possession of Assata's body because there is a bounty on Assata right now. That is a performance cause. That's also a double term with the Harmon Amazon and YC, which assumes that we need to steal away from which assumes that we need to steal away, except that stealing away doesn't work. Except it is condescending and also racially inferior to assume that Assata's body is held by someone else. Assata stole herself away. We agree that except the YC double turns himself there, which is a link to the argument. Also another argument for the permutations that they have misdisclosed to us before the round. They specifically said that they would read a piece of evidence by the Catherine Clevenger coming before the YC, which actually has the arguments about the bounty, except that was in the wiki from Glenbrook's round 1. They said that the affirmative was exactly the same, except that they did not have advocacy. Guess what? That card was not in the YC, which is where a lot of our links were standing off from. That kills pre-round preparation, which kills class, which turns their racial impact because you need to be tested by the negative in order to make your movement more effective and become better advocacy. If the negative cannot adequately test with you, that means I did it. Also, the misdisclosure is also the slippery logic of white supremacy because the white supremacy tells slaves about the plantation's misinformation and then expects them to try and deal with it at the same time. That is what that leads to. Now he said that the case solved the impact. The case was not solved the impact because the case does not take any action domestically. The YC is, it might be reduction, except the YC is basically an FYI at the point where they say that civil society is anti-dead and civil society is anti-dead and Assata has already stolen herself away. They did not take any action for Assata. All they do is try to take that Assata has inspired us to do our movement. Except what are you doing? Who are you economic engaged with? How do you relate to? How do you put up a debate that are all questions that are unanswered by the YC? Which means that the performance challenge of a martyr should be done. Now, targeting Assata should refine the status as a martyr, motivating people of color to continually push the boundaries. And that is Thompson and his case say 2000 something. She sees the label as a continuation of reaction states Montana asking people to send a should the Cuban government turn this way over will they revive the movement that has more. I'll be happy to see anything that will reinvigorate the movement. She has been embraced by parts of the hip hop generation. Enemy mentioned her in one of her songs. Shakur to Byrie. Now finally, also Assata refusing to speak at his trial is an example of martyrdom that should be expanded. Silence is good in this context. That is Bailey 2013. As I review the life of Assata Shakur, I'm reminded the history of black struggle, the way in which black women still and courageously work for liberation of people under tense and continuous institutions. Her refusing to speak at trial in the frame of that Turner was not speaking his incessant this line of African martyrdom where the martyr knows that to speaking from unjust tribunals gives legitimacy to the event and thus one to see silent. Her engaging in struggles to dismantle white supremacy and liable in forums, Harry Thomas, Sojourner Truth, Ida B. Wells, and contemporaries, Kathleen Clever, Angela Davis, Audrey Lyon, them speaking in this debate is them talking within the trial. Reason why to bring what is due into an anti-black activity is a performing contradiction settlement and double with the rest of the she says that Assata's already martyr. She is not already, she is a martyr in the status quo. So if you bring her up in this debate makes her not a martyr. You see her as a, you say we get the link when you say that Assata needs to be alive. That wasn't the 2AC. Even if we didn't have a link coming out of the way, you gave it because you said that Assata needs to be alive in order to motivate students in the first place. You said we argue that Assata needs to be dead and as a martyr to actually reintegrate movement. Here's another card on that right now. That's according to Assata. Martyrs are used as starting points of reference. The movements or social change living martyrs are an extension of those martyrs who have been forcibly removed from political activism and either in prison saddle whose agency is restraining ways that follows the found out. Such defiance against white power structure elevates the status of victim here. Living martyrs become extremely important because they put the boundaries set of the given culture. This is partly true of women of color. Also, she does not need to be alive for you to use a side of voice. Many debaters in the past used voices of the social area, used the voices of like Martin Luther King Jr., used voices of Tupac Shakur, and in his raps, they are all dead people except they have been martyrs, which is why they are used more often. The reason why it doesn't matter, which is the reason why we are performing challenges. The case arguments will extend to Williams arguments because you have essentially dropped this argument. We need to engage institutions. The reason why our demand on the United States federal government is actually a good thing because we are engaging the United States federal government being like, no, you should do that. The Williams evidence says the only way to infiltrate institutions and gain the power to actually tear down civil society and do more within civil society because we need to learn the tools of oppression. The state's level, that's the framing issue. And if you don't work within it, that's going to let the state circumvent you. Now finally, Asian Counteradvocacy, the one and other will do more of this argument, except the argument, essentially the top argument boils down to you are Asian, you should lose this argument. That's a reduction type of performance that prevents the coalitions that they try and make within this debate. Asian prep. Yeah, you need to expand on that argument.
Alright. First off, who's trying to build coalitions?
Who's trying to build coalitions?
Yeah, the last argument you said means I built the coalitions.
No, that's me. You're trying to tear down coalitions.
Okay, is debate not an institution?
Debate's an institution.
How are we not working inside of an institution? Wait, it's funny. Wait, wrong. So what institutions were?
State. That's what Williams says.
I'm trying to figure out what makes you different from the like white supremacists that say Assata should be dead, and like I'm really not understanding like why. Why does she just have to be dead? Like I'm not understanding. No. Better yet, answer this question. You said the fact that we brought her up in debate made her not a martyr.
Yeah.
So why didn't the fact that you brought Martin Luther King up in the debate make him not a martyr?
He's already a martyr.
I don't think you
understand that argument.
That's not responsive.
The Thompson, I got a date for this now. 13 evidence says that the Bailey 13 evidence says that Assata decided to stay silent.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so conscientization. I know your partner's going to talk about it, but I wanted to ask you. So what will whatever the process? What would the process do to help save someone in an instance where they're being like racially profiled? Like what would that do?
Conscientization.
Yeah.
I don't know what the affirmative does to stop.
I just want to know what
that would have been a great argument to make in the 2AC2. Conscientization is a process that you.
Okay, I have a question. So you basically say one of the impacts to the conscientization critique was that it will cause minorities to continue to like fight with each other, correct?
Yes.
Are we both two minorities? Why should we fight over methods? Why is that not the impact?
Because this is debate. Like,
okay, this is
our argument.
Okay,
you brought this up.
So sometimes when minorities debate or argue with each other, it can be good.
Wait, you're misunderstanding.
Can minorities debating against each other be a good thing?
Minorities debating each other can be a good thing when it's about methods.
So tensions between minorities can be a good thing.
I don't think you're understanding our argument.
No,
We're saying these
tensions
are bad, and then when you bring it up and make these debates like this, that is what causes.
Oh, just like our debate. Okay. So how does so misdisclosing pre-route is white supremacy. It was what whiteness. That's whiteness.
Yes.
So why would I not misdisclose this? You thought Harry Tubman was like, "Hey, we're going to the Underground Railroad. It's to the left." Like, why would we tell him it's to the right if it is to the right? Why not tell him it's to the left? I'm not understanding.
Your question makes no sense at the point where
I'm trying to figure out how first off, we didn't misdisclose. Second off, I'm trying to figure out how is that whiteness?
That's whiteness because your own conditionality argument says that when we try to subvert the slave by giving him false standards and telling him or her the wrong things, that's how the master uses to subjugate and control the slave.
Like, do you want us to run framework?
Run what you want.
Y'all keep talking about this framework. Nobody's telling you to do that.
Then have a debate.
You said that we just. You said that. You said that. Okay. Wait a minute. Let's all. How did all these martyrs die? Someone didn't have a bounty on them. Wait. I have a question. When did we ever say? I'll take credit for this. When did we ever say we were going to rescind the bounty off our head?
That is not our argument. We're saying that what
you said. Wait. Sorry. Why won't Assata? Wait. Why won't Assata die?
Because you said return her body.
Okay.
Return
her body.
It's fine. It's fine. Alright.
Okay. Use 12 seconds.
It's going to be the don't return down. Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming.
Let me grab my wallet.
You can save it for later.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Okay.
Here's my mouse. See him in the Dropbox?
No.
I always do that so that we can not jump to one extra person.
I never get it from. Okay.
No, way in front.
Ready?
Continuing where the two MC left off, this argument at the top just basically means the Asian Americans should not win because of our identity. This means that we should still continue to be silent by our oppression. Just to debate regular policy and talk about this is the same way the Asian Americans are swept under the rug because we are, when we try to speak out, we are oppressed and say, oh, your oppression doesn't matter because you're just going to create what the alternative to this is staying silent, which is going to be network and speaking out. Also, this is just an argument when it's to keep us silent and say that we're, you're going to get co-opted. You never described the DK also when they also get co-opted because winning is over another minority seems like another white standard that they can just keep portraying this argument. The answer is that the answer to this argument is not that we should lose, but go through our process of conscientization to be able to resolve the impacts. The way we win is through breaking down the myth of the model minority, which they have not contested, which means that this argument that makes sense. This argument is just morally repugnant that we should not be speaking out against anti-blackness in civil society. Now the first permutation is permutation to the alternative first. They don't get a permutation. I know. The one he explicitly said the debate the question of competing methodology cross-apply the 2NC now this at black-white binary the firm operates within a framework of anti-blackness with this causes racial scapegoating and undermines anti-blackness coalition and Hutchinson into that for the excluded deployment of black-white paradigm generally racial description order constructed and inadequate anti-racist theory critical racist theory looking at evidence also much hard including harm injured by blackness the most likely supported confluent persons colors get deep division of self binary racial quality industry formation and racial multiracial discourse these demonstrate the prevention of racial inequality binary racial discourse obscure the exterior by the Lucian Asian American boy argued that black is Emily model minors Asian American binary racial should allow no way to discredit the African Asian Americans that prove that this admits of model minority structure white supremacy will never allow the examination of both methodology. They will use one of them one against the counter Asians are the darling of the right. The bodies will be used to police minority bodies of claiming that their suffering is part of their own internal fury. That's the China evidence now this hybridity grouping together oppression the tactic of power the Lawyer 77 liberation and the young comic spiritual opposites sufficient hearing and classification of all minority and single category people seeking liberation such a classification way to eliminate specific complaint a clever way to turn aside efforts of descending groups liberation to the last gimmicks to keep minority groups close to mining and vapor they can eliminate my oppression do not seek to destroy the root oppression but merely to challenge with oppression manifests all divided clear for way to appear power keep set up now just silence and anti-link coalition, racial pressure, black will, Latino poor rights are discussed and understood by individuals over discrimination of Asian American. However, this applies to every single permutation. The first permutation is do the alternative, that's severance, because you are not using your integration and your methodology for the one you see, that's bad. Cross-applying their own conditional argument here. Also, their card that they racists have racism, it's bad, racism against Asian Americans are bad. However, the anti-black doesn't work. The distinction here is that the wanting to counter advocacy is also a stance against anti-black. I asked this in the question, what allows the anti-blackness to be justified in the current civil society? The way the white supremacists justify it right now is they point to the Asian Americans and say, look at these other minorities, it's their own fault that the civil society is anti-black there because they are inferior. Look at these Asians pulling themselves off. The model minority is the justification, and yes, anti-blackness is a fulcrum, but how does that fulcrum survive in these stats going? That is the myth of the model minority. Next permutation, do the plan then all the first. This is also sidelining a movement to a later solve. Also, their methodology doesn't solve it. There is a new form of racism, differential racism, which they have conceded from the two races that seeks to ostracize individual based on their cultural identity. Only calculates for race perhaps to be liberated. That's the battle card from the one AC. Now the next they say anti-blackness at first. However, cross apply from above that. We are not saying that anti-blackness should not come forward, but we have a. This is a question about alternate and planned solvency. We say our method of conscientization is able to resolve that anti-blackness in a more effective struggle because it attempts to conscientization solves the research scale. We creates meaningful education to liberate oppression without social education. Conscientization overcomes all barriers. They say Asian American.
Well, anti-blackness forces a link to our...
Also, anti-blackness, say that anti-blackness comfort is also a link to the black-white binary descent because that's just glossed over the Prashad and outcome evidence from one issue indicates that when you group these things into a category of anti-blackness, whilst the Asian American oppression could they say permutation, they say Asian Americans are black, are the same thing. No, they are. Ontologically, they may be the same. However, in reality, they are not. Asians are perceived as at least it's a privilege compared to black. That's the China evidence from one permutation to both will answer the buzz. They say steroid point matters and black should have intervention. Well, the conscientization is the best way for that. And also, this links to all the dissent from the permutation and how the competing methodology that Asian Americans are portraying it. How start from a position of anti-blackness, start from the myth of a model minority can interrogate anti-blackness. However, start from anti-blackness cannot solve for the myth of a model minority. They say the terminal impact however, this was the answer anti-blackness just groups these groups together, assume that all oppression are the same. However, Asian Americans and African Americans do have different types of things. We are still attacking anti-blackness civil society, but from our identity through the myth of the model minority.
We have 9:48. Just tell me one second.
Yeah, I suppose.
No, just stay
Or
here.
I'm going to Chicago.
Yes.
You're still going to go to the Christmas party though?
Yeah. Are you going to that?
I mean, if you're going to that,
Yeah.
I'm not going with you.
Well,
Was I invited to that? Okay.
that's one of Robert's house.
Yeah.
You've been to Robert's house before?
No.
He lives in a trailer.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Yeah. Yeah, my relatives.
I have relatives who live in trailers. My dad's brother was in a trailer.
Apparently we're still going to the rest of the Christmas party stuff because people were so upset over the wedding.
Wait, which one?
The one where Brandon was banned.
No, which party are you not going to?
So Linda and her whole family.
The regular one?
Yeah, they're all having a big party.
And what, isn't that one on Christmas Day? Who invited you to the wedding? How are you related to people?
Linda?
No, I don't know. How were you related? Who got married?
Kyle, Linda's son.
Okay.
I went to California with me and my mom
Yeah.
when I was 8. Like younger.
And all of the examples on martyrs they gave were
Yeah, I think that's after
the
Christmas.
government did not assign people to kill those martyrs. Those martyrs are not. And then they said the permutation doesn't work because it's computed method, but literally the impact of the Greek was that it causes minorities to fight. And that is true, then we don't need to have computed methods that is literally minorities fighting over white. Yeah,
All 5 teams break, don't they?
No. They should break. I could win, I guess.
I think it's like looking at us, like be able to write literature so that we can read it inside of like public spaces like this. Like if somebody reads Tupac, it's not gonna be recent. If brother, she's a logic, right? Like recent shit.
Okay, well, my kids is wrong. I don't know.
What are they reading? They have no.
And that was straight up policy map. Like, we should create oil. Not even, like, U.S. company should go and take Cuba, drill for oil, and then they go back to the U.S. So we can see that that's not engagement.
They're going for T.
I don't know if they're going for it.
Why don't they go for a K?
They can. They're doing it K. But, like, I told them they don't have to go for the K. I feel like they're winning other things, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like, the K is, like, in front of you, it's, like, kind of cool, but, like...
Does your team go for things that aren't the K?
They won it, yeah. They won the 2 rounds. They won one was Gay Spec and then one was Taylor Bro.
Way out there round?
Yeah, they broke their phone after, and apparently Taylor and I are like the other ones that like coming to the round. And Taylor loved their app, and so they loved Taylor, but good to prefer all the time. And I was like,
What's their next tournament?
there isn't a next turn.
Are they gonna be able to get something else matched now?
I don't know. Maybe like Ofo.
Yeah, they could definitely do Fofo.
Answer to.
Do they have ambitions to travel much besides that?
Carlos a little bit. I don't know about Helena. I don't think so. She's a good person, but I don't know if she cares a whole lot. I mean, I like her. She's smart. She cares a lot.
Carlos cares a lot.
Yeah.
I like Carlos.
I like Carlos too. He's shiesty. Like, he doesn't want to be on the captain exposing shit. He like...
Yeah, I can tell
He
that.
talks about like stealing files from other teams, and I'm like, Carlos, you cannot do that. Like, it is unacceptable. He talks about how to steal facts. He talks about like, wouldn't it be cool if I could, you know, fabricate evidence, like have my dad write evidence for me, and I'm like, no, that's not cool. And he like goes for ASPEC and like RFDI and like,
That's
stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it because he cares, but like at the same time, there's all mine.
They can see that the permutation works because we see fugitives to the martyrdom, which means that the fact that you even say you see going to learn means that we're not
How's that round going?
really sick people.
I know.
Things are happening. People are saying things, but I don't know what they're saying.
Wait, you're not judging right now?
Oh, I'm judging something. We're gonna see how it turn out.
You just missed me, that's all.
I missed your review, right?
I understand. We both look flat today, so I understand. I mean, that's nothing new, you know. You good?
What's up, son?
Yeah, what else are you doing? You guys ready?
They forgot to, they remember to say words this time. Kevin Hirn was kind of like everyone who won the like Europe thing. That's what Kevin Hirn was kind of like everyone else. Kevin Hirn, the Europe thing. It's so cool. And yeah, and also like Kevin Hirn for like all of the outfits.
Case, Martyr,
I slept 20 hours before that.
Counteradvocacy.
And then I got to stay afterwards for like another 3 days.
Excuse me.
Your life is hard right now.
Like, nothing get easier.
Better get your life back.
You got around to judge.
Your class will be fucked for the rest of this tournament, I promise you.
Okay, alright.
Right. Give your speech.
Go for Assata.
Alright. working inside the institution, but no, we have not. The one to see with the disruption of the half-mind district that we are critiquing. The fact that you have conceded this argument probably means we are going to win. Now, there was no warning sitting in this box. Simply talking about why the USFG is key. So we all need to win that we are working within an institution and disrupting the hegemonic discourse. That is the problem. That probably means the one to see solved. You have conceded the fugitivity side on the case to visibly talk about why the one to see was key to us being fugitive. The Constitution give us no one's resistance in the real world. Even if they win the Constitution, the good thing for me for the modern minority agenda, it does nothing for Brooklyn. When we go back to Detroit, we're being racially profiled. It does nothing. If I'm just really the bottom of my existence, it does nothing for me. Actually, that's what we need to be fugitive to society. We need to be saying, we need to be negating the nation. We need to be saying no to the society, the authority saying no to it. You also have to see the role of balance. We also have to see the role of balance. We talk about why we are the best research that before we have methodology breakdown, anti-black and uncompromised is probably the reason why we are winning conditionality debate simply not because of the fact that it's about strategy, because it's uncompromised. The fact you're advocating the conditionally means that you're not going to go to the martyr. You're missing the argument about the conditionality, about the fungibility of the advocacy. It's not about the arguments contradicting themselves. It's about you deciding that you are only going to run these arguments conditionally. It's only about what you're doing best. Probably what's fatigue for slave owners to have things like slave, because it doesn't matter if they did make it. It's not that the one you see didn't make sense. It's that the fact you're advocating conditionally exactly the problem, because they relied on the same master-slave relationship where you're only accessing the fungibility of your arguments. You're not literally advocating for conscientization. You're only advocating for conditionally. You made the argument that you said that Assata is still lying to speak about competing mess, but no, we're saying that Assata is not lying because of the fact she's ontologically dead. You have no determined that you are actually going to kill Assata. The counterplans literally the status quo. We have never made the argument that we're actually going to rescind Assata. The bounty that is on Assata's tail. We just made the argument that she is how she functions with the metaphor for us in the debate community. They said they give the example to people like Tupac and how he died. But we're seeing that was never actually playing with the government. Probably that words that you're saying that the USFG should actually kill Assata, even if Assata died in status quo. We should let it happen naturally. We should not okay. You don't talk about people like Rosa Parks, women who are very influential in the community, and advocating against things like racism. She died naturally, and she is still a martyr. She was not killed by the USFG, which is a bad thing. There's probably more reason why you should vote them down, because they are the same hegemonic discourse that we are critiquing. Because you're saying Assata should literally be dead. That's a problem. That's probably why we should get the permutation. Even if we do not get the permutation, the counterpoint doesn't follow any percent of the affirmative. They said that what would the debate look like after the permutation? Because we don't have a plan to, but even if we don't get the permutation, the counter plan is the worst type of knowledge, because they're saying that we should literally kill Assata. Even if Assata would die, it would cause something beneficial to happen. We should never actually say that we should kill Assata. They said that they are saying that we should just give us the ballot because we're black. No, we're not saying that. We're saying you should give us the ballot because we do the better debating against Roe. We are the only ones that have met our role with the ballot. They said that we said somebody already has Assata body. That's why we have to give it back. But we're saying no. Assata's body was stolen because of things like slavery. It's not something that's not about her physical body. She's literally living in exile, and we should not go over there and kill her. And even if she does die, it's not something that we should be advocating for. They said that Assata is already stolen away, but even if they can win, even if they can win, she's stolen away. There's still a possibility of her dying in the status quo. Counterpoint is just the status quo. Okay. Even if they can win competing methodology, even if they win that competing methodology are good, and then we don't get a permutation, we will still win that the affirmative is the best form of conscientization, because we are recognizing that we need to be fugitive to society. That is the only motive resistance for the black body. They have conceded that the conscientization can never actually do anything to actually carry any kind of motive resistance. The two in the one in our gave no analysis of why the conscientization was key to actually bring change for other minorities. They only talk about the model minority, what they can use to actually get the validation. That they can think about how Asians can never get anything. So because the fact that we're going to say that no, since you're already the bottom minority, you should not get the ballot. But no, you made the argument yourself that the bottom minorities are already the problem, that you are the ones who are being used to oppress. If you really believe that, you have a strategic option in this debate round, because you have the option to break down the myth of the model minority. If they actually care, it's not about you always losing. It's about you losing at the right moment to another minority. You said that minority should not be fighting, and that is the problem. Even if we do not get the permutation, if we lose all the other flows, if you actually believe in conscientization, that means that is the ballot for the affirmative. Because the fact that they will always be seen the model minority, you are the coup, rather than everybody already expects to win against you. PK the school that nobody knows anything about the school from Detroit that nobody expects to win.
No impact to the school.
No impact to the extent conscientization. Like, even if they can win, there's some small negative impact. There was not enough work fleshed out in the whatever.
I have 7 something, Kevin? Do you remember exactly?
Yeah, 7:15.
7:15. 7:15.
Yes.
15:50 or 15?
15.
15.
Wait a second. What did you have left? Wait.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what did you have left?
2:05.
What?
I remember.
Well, we have 4.
No, it's either we had 9:15 because we start with 10 minutes. We were assuming that we start with 8. That's why we said 7:15.
Oh. Are we doing 8 or 10?
10?
If we're doing 10, you have 4 to 5, you're right.
And we have 9:15.
9:15?
Yeah.
Or I think I said 9:15.
Wait, she used prep for the cross-ups.
Yeah, what's kind of
Yeah, you only have like 5 seconds for 2 and 2.
I remember at the time she was prepping on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Have you read,
Who are you here with?
Sure.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Love me some
He's
He-Man.
like very.
Yeah.
I really like his partner too, Dylan. He's
Well, I don't really know him.
he's got a lot of he's loving debate. He's like in doing worse. And I think
Did you
he's
go to
doing
Ohio
well.
Valley? I know Stratford sent 18 there.
Yeah, he was at Ohio.
He was?
Yeah, Dylan was.
Well, I know he meant. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think he was actually there. Like, coaching. Yeah.
He's there bopping around.
Who works with Stratford this year?
Kind of on and off, like not all on the same tournament, but Landy, me, and Drew.
Is Edmund still there?
Edmund's not there. Edmund's
Oh no, shit, I did know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
With Joe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to get Leah for the TNC.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she might be working with Hunter. So we're still looking for some other people to come troll around landing for a weekend.
Landing simultaneously contributes the least and the most.
Oh, it's so insane. It's great.
He's really good at trolling the other team. That may have won us a debate at USC.
The Green Hill debate?
Yeah, the Green Hill.
Oh, the debate versus Green Hill.
Before the debate, he meant like, we don't have an offsets block. And Landon gave him like 1 card, but as he was leaving the room, it's like, he meant to make sure that you move all those cards to like 1 AR extensions. It's definitely too much for the 2 AC. And so he meant reads 1 card and they kick it in the block.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TSC was not very fun for me last year as a result of me being stuck in my hotel room with fucking food poisoning.
You had food poisoning last year?
Huh?
You had food poisoning last year?
Yeah, like the
Well, this didn't happen the year before.
The middle of day 2, yeah, that's true. The middle of day 2, we all got Chipotle, and I was the only one who got like pork. And apparently there was something wrong with the pork, and I was just like laid up in the hotel room until we had to fly back.
You're a vegetarian now, though, right?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Ain't no food poisoning,
So
except
you
sometimes
should-
salmonella.
I think you should have one.
Are you living the vegan lifestyle? Are you living the
Yeah, I guess
vegan
he will.
lifestyle?
The country.
She is a vegan, but
Brad's vegan at tournaments now. He took the veg pledge.
I'm
Because he was
vegan
already
at
running
tournaments, and I was vegan for a while.
Did Joey's and Chefs persuade you?
No.
Fair enough.
Julius and Chefs, I never heard of before the whole vegan thing. I talked to him for a while at the Harvard tournament, and he was smarter than I expected.
Have you read the article he wrote?
I have.
That does not bode well for.
He's reading a lot of random articles. Have you seen like his environmental apocalypse design?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible. You thought it was awful?
I mean, I don't know. It was like taking like academia and just like putting it within the perm framework and then transporting it back to academia. Just like very, very debatey.
Yeah, it is pretty debatey.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, like if that were a 2AR in debate, I would probably vote for him. But
Who are you working with? Or if anyone?
Westminster.
Westminster. Working with the D-Heights.
Yeah, for a while it was unclear about whether I would have to like room with the height here.
That would be so cool.
I was like, oh my god, this would be such an interesting ethnographic encounter. Like observing the wild D-Height in his room at night. Like, aren't you curious as to what his like pre-bed rituals are? Like, because everyone has them.
Well, Steven said he's worked with D-Height before. He didn't mention anything. He didn't
Yeah,
mention
it's not
anything
still.
weird.
I mean, I would also like love to develop a close bond with DA.
440.
440?
Yeah.
It's hard. But, you don't yeah.
I mean, we don't.
Strike him, but we don't exactly strike him.
I don't know if I would recommend it. It's kind of really ideological these days.
No, when I did see that.
Just against the K, you mean?
We keep him pretty low.
Yeah.
Well, really low.
Yeah, I could imagine. He's not the biggest fan of your app.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Could you tell me actually?
That's the conversation. Nobody's ever come up to us except for Sherry Hall. And nobody has been just like, this app is sweet. Like, everybody's just like, this is stupid. You suck.
Do you like the crack off and dusting strategy?
Yes.
That was my idea.
I have a video of that round, and Joe was like, "You can't ever release this video because I'll be on a no-fly list for the rest of my life."
Oh yeah. Have you debated the suicide hour before that? Surprising, given the
Debated the sacrifice.
We debated a sacrifice argument that was tied to Negrostani that.
Oh, like the deep shit?
Yes, but like, I didn't.
I lived with Michael Leaf last year. We shared a room together. I know all about his nonsense.
I can't understand Negrostani, but
There's nothing.
I understood
there's
what
nothing
he,
close to you.
I understood what he was saying.
Stop trying to make a singularity intelligible, Andrew G.
No.
Yeah.
You have like kind of debates like that, but it's a lot more intimidating in debates. But if he was like super trolly like that in the process, stop trying to make it intelligible, Jason. Fuck off.
I don't know. It's hard. It's actually hard to
I'm mad that
imitate.
Sure.
Too many words.
Sure.
Yeah. I've tried to get an impression down, but like, I just can't talk that long. I run out of things to say.
The only thing I could do is contribute to that is you have to have the arms crossed behind the back.
That's pretty easy.
And like rock a little bit.
Post round smoke breaks with Leaf are the best.
They are pretty good. He also,
It's like
every
the
morning he
chillest
wakes up
person.
he keeps a bowl right next to his bed and immediately hits it first thing every morning. He never failed once.
That's it.
Wait, the debate tournaments or?
Ever. Actually, I don't know about debate tournaments, but
Those are maybe
like
most
normal
stressful
life.
things.
Yeah.
I think he said he's been qualified for the TC 3 times
Which is still outrageous.
and never been able to go.
I like him in person a lot, but they're really nice to debate.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you have a question?
Yes.
You only debated them twice. I know you debated them twice. They're
Yeah,
happy
that
about
was-
those.
That was
I don't know.
pretty brutal.
I feel like the
What happened to those
The
debates?
second time.
The first debate I just gave some of the worst speeches in existence on T, and it just got crushed. And then the second debate they went for the like sacrifice not surrender. That solves better.
Yeah. That's like a weird, like Edmund used to make a similar argument when he debated, which he may have given to you at some point along the line, maybe not. Just like the becoming sacrifice argument. Like
The snack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to become one for the other.
It was similar to that argument, but there was some more leaf shit.
Just imagine Edmund explaining this.
Yeah, no, Edmund explaining this is a trip. Also known as Zoroastrian ethics.
Yeah, it was a Zoroastrian.
Okay. I just remember we get back to like the Emory debate squad that night. It was just like, oh, doubles now. Oh, we're meeting Wayne State, and then we start talking about it. And I'm just like, I'm really not going to play a very large role in this debate. Like,
We just have to.
well, it's hard. It's hard to debate. Like further left around that. I tried to
It's tough.
I'm getting it difficult.
Yeah. I have to learn how to do that in like the last semester of my debate career. Now I'm debating with Krakow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
That'll be fun.
Joe told me about that, and I was like, yes!
Yeah. Who's Dustin?
Martyr
It's
Counteradvocacy.
not. I'll probably.
That's gonna be good too.
Yeah. Tacoma being Harvard, yes.
I mean, they both.
Oh yeah.
Like Rishi like stopped doing work. Like Tacoma's both Qs. That's the WIC tournament. And Rishi probably was like, I don't do anymore because he's like
You know that
pretty checked
song.
out.
It's not the great.
You know when Mark might be told below his dress, he was
Maybe.
So it's this kind of
I just know.
giving it like
John Michael and Rob.
Oh,
they're pretty good.
They care.
Gabe calls them team chill.
crocodiles.
They have a chill affect, but they definitely care.
I'm definitely so
Leon does not.
After
I know what I was doing.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
the first line is the card set.
Like, he really cares about like, the social aspect of debate. Like, that's...
Plus, you're talking about the chill affect, then obviously has to be those.
Alright, the counter advocacy, the martyr flow, and then the case.
You're definitely chill.
Alright, ready?
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The debate up to this point has been very mixed. Said, I'll clean up for you right here. We have a method. It's called consternation. You claim its views and typically accept the one seat does not take the defense on that. Moreover, that explanation on the case may accept our method is consternation. Consternation is a process of learning the world and using experimental learning activities like debate. A reason why, if you're going to claim that process of consternation is the affirmative, you must vote negative because consternation is our method. Any argument for why the absence of a form of consternation is a reason it's a negative bladder because you have to see that this is a debate about competing methodology and we have stated from the one seat that our method is conditional like consternation. So anything before that means that you write sign your violent negative. Now, we have three impacts that you have dropped coming out of the white seat. First is the black-white binary. The black-white binary that was completely dropped coming out of the white seat. You created. That was the link when you say things like the anti-blackness always come from the black-white binary actually hinders the groups in the middle because the groups in the middle are always ostracized and use the tongue evidence and also the problem with taking evidence says that this manifested out of society in place in times when Asian American oppression is all swept on the rug. Asian American oppression is ignored and only justified. The black culture probably justified by the Asian American mediocrity thesis. South East Asians are lots of Asians and ignored and not given any sort of welfare opportunities because everyone thinks that all Asians are doing fine. That is what the black-white binary causes because all intangible society are seen between black and white. Those are the things that our authors claim, which is the reason why he also calls it psychological violence against Asians because Asians are forever from society. Another nuanced argument was the nativistic racism arguments, which fundamentally debunks the DC of the way. See, nativistic racism is not a biological racism or ontological racism. It's a differential racism based off excluding people who do not belong from this country and have not belonged from this country in the first place. That gives Asian Americans a foreigner status, which makes them, but in a place of the inclusion ostracism. They might claim that Asians are junior partners of the white people, except that is what is happening because Asians are never white and never can be white. They pretend like they do, which is why they psychologically damage themselves, which is why the process of consternation is necessary to resolve that psychological damage itself. The limelight, she said there's a debate of competing methodologies. So yes, we agree that, which is the reason why you do not get a permutation. If the after the form of consternation, that means that you can find negative level. Also, that after that form of consternation, they have stated their method of fugitivity. So that is independent problems on its own that will get to middle later. She said that consternation doesn't solve any form of resistance. The act does not solve any form of resistance either. Coming to a debate space and talking is not the right answer. The piece of Bailey evidence they have conceived from the side of flow, but simply says in the context of Assata that she decided to stay silent at the trial. This was a drop argument. Saying silent at the trial was to not give the trial, aka the debate committee, if it is white supremacist legitimacy. Then coming and reading the white sees an example of not staying silent at the trial, giving legitimacy to the anti-black system, which is an independent performance. Double term coming out of the white seat. The Bailey evidence could be an independent reason why you vote negative. Now finally, the argument about the model minority. This argument is not going to work for you because, well, first of all, it's a jurisdiction argument. If you claim that breaking down the myth of the model minority is good, the right answer is not to drop Centennial because we have conceded that the role of the is about competing method, which means that if our method breaks down the myth of minority, you are right vote. The second argument is that this is an exclusionary argument that should be rejected because Asian American are always talking about what the hell are we supposed to do? Oh, read framework against you. We try to engage in a battle about competing method, except if we are going to lose by claiming that the myth of the minority is something from our social location, and if you're going to say to drop us so that we can win, just to drop you and try and prove a point, that is not the right answer because that the alternative to that is us reading framework and not engaging in the first place, which is the worst form of debate that we have all agreed on now the white seat, which is the reason why even if you drop us, that's not going to solve the myth of the model minority because you are also model minorities and also do not make your ballot political because this is the reason why you should not make your ballot political. Political ballots are the worst forms when debate does not even occur because if we can still have debates on competing methods. Like debate is about actually who you are and the process is that you model society. That actually debunks debate and turns it where it's not debate. We're not going to argue because we have already lost coming into the round just based on the argument whether that is a bad form of debate that should be independently rejected. He says that there's no impact of consternation. I call bullshit. Game extended multiple impacts into one and do not let any two-hour extrapolation unless you can connect the argument from the 1 hour because I don't get 3 hours to answer that. That makes it unfair. Now the martyrs argument. The conditioning arguments are still a no-go. They have conceded the advocacy that said that the net has to be able to test the affirmative, not for a strategic reason, but a reason for being able to resist white supremacy, because the only way that the negative can engage you and test your arguments is to read these positions. Also, their arguments based off of contradiction, except conditionality. They don't have a warrant for why conditionality is the logic of these slaves, because both of our arguments were impacted by racism and types of oppression, things we decided to question coming out of YC, which is why engagement strategy are uniquely good in the first place. She doesn't have a warrant for this. But the Martyr argument is not racist either. She thinks this is a racist. A lot of arguments cover this task. Says that's not how we advocated in this round, which is the reason why the Martyr picking out the Martyr argument, not going for it, is not racist in this and itself. Finally, the case argument. She claims fugitivity impact. She says the only places where the YC talks about fugitivity is in one atmosphere. Not a single card says why fugitivity is good. The YC is basically FYI. So you cannot hang your head or vote for something that you do not. What impact is there to fugitivity? How does fugitivity resolve itself in debate coming? These are all questions unanswered by the affirmative coming to this round of debate. So you need to hang your hat on consternation. The specific impacts of the myth of the minorities that the negative team advocates in this debate.
What time?
4:14.
Well, it depends. If they're in, and I'm not just that would be fine. We'd probably leave if they weren't in. So.
Can I just try to go with something?
Oh, okay. What are you holding?
There's two. We took two vans here, so there's one van in the morning. And apparently our Congress kids are the best in the country. Something like, they got like 6 studies of PTSD last year before I heard. So they're probably sure to lead.
How late is that from them? I imagine I have to late policy.
Well, it goes late Sunday. The latest we expect you to get back would be like midnight.
Long stretch, kind of 6 hours.
Yeah, about 6 hours.
Did I tell you I'm going to jam? I'm going to see 2 Chainz live with the first time in February. 2 Chainz and Pusha T at the House of Blues in Boston.
Well, I mean, policy round robins probably predate all of those things.
Me, G, Fall Bang, and David Newstat are big 2 Chainz and Trap Rap fans.
I live in the stupid. I don't really have a that's what
You know it.
I think we're gonna go to the Mall of America tomorrow, so
I said I was going to show you the Burger Crack sheet on Twitter. This is why Paul Banks is awesome. What's hilarious is I knew him like from doing like middle school date stuff in DC, and then like we went to go together, we got him over. So I've been chilling since then.
Is the Vietnamese place right here good?
yeah.
Poor boy.
This is what he does instead of homework.
Oh, wait, is he the one with those?
It's him and Jacob Simon's son. He was also like incredibly accomplished jazz pianist. Like super network Simon.
Alright, so I'm gonna go farm bill, then the counterplan. Not that debate. Alright. Let's go case, counterplan, continuization. Oh. Bumblebee. Okay. Ready?
At these topics in the world, the battle, they can see this used both the best teams that performance breaks down anti-blackness while they may say that they break down anti-blackness through the critique, but they are the critique the fact that they don't do it performatively. Extend the brother evidence specific says the way that we answer Assata Shakur, neo-slave, every side of the debate community is our performative act right there, which probably means at the end of the debate you're going to prefer the wrong body. They can see the fact that it's never beneficial for two reasons. Some point specific is that it allows for us to break away from hegemonic discourse that have stolen away from individual debaters, and some point B allows for us to bring most of resistance against the state. The problem is that that's our reason why we automatically get out and all the argument they make here specific is that we do not give you a reason why fugitivity is good, but even if you do think this is new to our analysis, you're going to give me leeway because this was new to an art analysis. Specifically, we are saying that fugitivity is good because it has allowed us to break away from hegemonic discourse. That was inside of the 2AC. This is not new. That was also saying inside of the 1ER. Problem is that it is why fugitivity is a good thing. We say that fugitivity is a good thing. The 1AC is the reason why fugitivity is a good thing. We say fugitivity is a good thing because it allows for us to resist back against the state when we have no other choice but to be antagonistic to it in the first thing. Or if they say that fugitivity does not solve anything outside of the real world, but they can say the fact that fugitivity is not just us talking. Fugitivity is the way of being. Fugitivity is the way of life. But as Ray Von Dean, I have to be a fugitive. I have to be a fugitive against the hegemonic discourses that are inside of the policy debate. Goes to the kind of info. We're not going to go for conditionality here. The only thing we're going to say is that you can see the fact that when you run things conditional, it makes the body fungible. If it makes the body fungible, the problem means that is a solvency deficit the critique has because at the point in which you are making the H body fungible, the problem means that it's going to make things like exclusion inside inevitable. Which means that even if they think with the fact that they should be able to advocate the theory of conditional, we are saying that it's fine that you showed you why the fungibility of Asian rights are inevitable. That is a solvency deficit to the critique. Also never goes to the critique. First off, they can see the fact that they make the arguments that don't even make sense. They say that even with the fact that the affirmative is conscientization, that you should vote negative. What doesn't make sense? That just simply means that instead of the 1C we had already dealt alternative critique that we are saying that the 1AC was alternative critique in the first place. Problem is that even if they come with the fact that this is a debate about competing methodologies work, when the fact that since we are already conscientization, that means that we have the best methodology in the versus or if they say that the impact of the critique was that it would cause minorities to fight against each other. Well, that is the reason why we should not fight with methodology. We are saying that we should not have we need to create multiple resistance. Look at the civil rights movements. It was not just one political organization doing things, whether it was multiple political organizations working together. We are saying that we should be working together now. Specifically, I want to extend the argument that specifically says that you should give university prep BK the ballot against a modern minority. We are saying that Asians should not always lose. You are saying the fact that the 1 ER analysis says specifically in this debate round, specifically in context of how we are and how trying to handle ourselves. You should specifically give us the debate. You should specifically give us a ballot so that we can let university prep BK be 7-0 at the late tournament. We are saying that you should become the martyrs that you are talking about on the martyr flow. If it's really good to be a martyr, then why not be a martyr? You email us the ballot even if they win the debate. Some martyr. I mean, martyrism is so good that that probably means that we should get the ballot in the first thing. Specifically, they say that we are not conscientization because we do not actually fight wait for people to survive. You're actually fact that that's what obviously they have to say to large term. They have no way for my partner not to survive. What the hell is he going to do when a George Zimmerman walks up to me and I'm saying, hey, don't shoot me, I'm going to use conscientization? Does not matter. He is still going to shoot me in the first place. There is no way that we can actually create most of this in the first place. Whether if we do the affirmative, it allows most of it for not only the black body but also for the other body in the first place because we are saying that we need to collapse to society. They also see the fact that once we collapse to society, things like oppression will not happen in the first place because there is nobody to oppress with the point in which there is nobody alive. We are seeing the fact that the middle passage is parasitic to society in the first place. We are saying that once an African person stopped onto the same ship they came off as a black person, we are saying that it literally opened up Pandora's box and that spread a sense of blackness upon the whole world, which made that society will never be a bad thing. The first is more they extend the black white body. The other fact we don't link to this in the first place because we specifically conceptualize those that face the impacts of whiteness as being black in the first place. And moreover, you can call for the evidence. All of their evidence is specific to if you focus on white people versus black people. Whether we do not do this in the first place, as long as we are breaking down whiteness, and that means that we do not have a white binary in the first place. And if we are collapsing civil society, then there is no room for a black white binary to occur because there is no such thing in the first place. Moreover, this is not a reason why you should reject us because we are saying that the black, white, narrow, bleeding never. That's why we should black civil society. They say that Asians, they say that Asians are always having to either pretend to be white or to be the minority. We cause them to be in a sense of bare life. We are saying that at the point we are collapsing civil society, it means that we solved that in the first place. They say that sitting inside of the big one is not another actually solved in the first place. In the first place, what the hell does conscientization do? They think that conscientization does nothing when we have to go inside of the real world. It does nothing when the fact that the person that won the NBC as well as City National was not invited to Kentucky round robin. I'm sure as hell he would like to have something like conscientization, but they say it's not working. The first thing in the world they say that the debate is competing methodology. The fact that minorities should not fight against each other, whether we should work together. And even if they can win the fact that it is competing methodology, the fact that our methodology was already conscientization, we recognize that there was a problem in the world. We said we need to find a solution. Our solution was future city, which means that we are conscientization. Firstly, they say that we are not conscientization. They just answered well. They say that the Africa is no mode of resistance. Future city is our mode of resistance. We resist against things. They say that you should not drop them for us. We just answered but they say the alternative is just be teams reading the framework. But this is not true. This is not. You are not a team that actually reads like a policy affirmative or a policy negative. So that is not apply to us in the first place. These fact that you have to do it specifically. Now they say that Gabe extended the impacts inside the block. Was that in 2NR? No. Which means even if he did extend it in the block, it wasn't in 2NR. Which means that if the impact to them being the minority is the exclusion of other minorities, that is why the 1AC saw. We abandon whiteness, we collapse civil society, which means that if we are winning that the middle passage is parasitic to society and that someone has to be enslaved for someone to be free, the only way to solve all forms of oppression is a total collapse of civil society. This is conscientization.
What?
I see your card says fugitivity collapses civil society. Neg, can I see the Bailey evidence?
Yeah.
And then
Bailey and what?
conscientization solves. Specifically, conscientization solves like the impacts to the criticism, like exclusion of yellow body, psychological violence, and also like white supremacy.
She's an abrasive person.
I show that part. Huh? Yeah. Grounded. It was. These are the hard parts.
You're there, I might do. She's going to Tommy. And then stop by, and then also to see what's happening. Why would I even?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why, but one of my flows labeled TPPQ. TTPT? No, TGPQ. Oh. Alright. That's pretty weird. That's weird. We have a computer or no?
I do.
Yeah,
you mind just leaving it here? Oh, I'm just gonna read it.